This is episode 59 of This Makes Me Happy. Welcome to This Makes Me Happy, a podcast about people and what makes them happy. I am your host, Bernardo Margulis. I'm a designer, art director, and educator, and I'm the principal of This Makes Me Happy, a design studio where I help my clients with branding and visual communications. I'm very happy to present This Makes Me Happy, the podcast, where each week I chat with a different person about what makes them happy. My guests come from all walks of life, and each of them shares their own personal happy stories. Join us every week for a unique conversation. Hello, today I am very happy to be talking to Tara Rose Schreiber. Tara's an actress, and I don't know if I should be saying this, but I'm sure it will come out. Tara is Sharona's sister, so we have a sister act back-to-back going on. Hi, I was going to call you Sharona. How, Tara?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. And I was just saying about like being a younger sibling and having your own identity, and now I'm like messing up. How
it's okay.
How beautiful is that?
It's my whole life.
How beautiful is that off the gate? We're just getting acquainted and I mess it up.
Yes. You're basically just talking to Sharona. It's okay.
No, I'm talking to Tara Schreiber, a completely different person.
Completely.
So, Tara, else from being an actress, is there anything else that we should know about you?
Well, people always say that if you're a vegan, you should never worry about like finding out if someone's a vegan because they'll tell you. So I'm a vegan. And I felt like it would come out later on, so I just wanted to put it, on the in the beginning because that's so important, and I just needed to incorporate it really quickly.
So are you?
So I'm an actress and a vegan.
So do you tell everyone you're a vegan all the time?
Yeah, and it'll come up randomly. Like, it really is true, the sentiment of, like, don't worry, like, a vegan will tell you if they're a vegan. You don't have to, like, find out. It's like, oh, do you play basketball? It's like, oh, no, not really, because I'm a vegan. And it's like, there's no reason. There's absolutely no reason. Oh, do you want to cross the street? No, it's dangerous, and I'm a vegan. It's like, there's absolutely no reason, but it's always on the forefront, I found, of, like, vegans' minds. Like, it's a connection that we want people to know, and we want to influence people, and we think if we tell them that we're vegan, it'll somehow change their mindset. So it hasn't worked yet, but I'm still trying.
Well, I love going out with my vegan friends because I keep kosher, so when I go out, I only eat vegetarian. But everyone's like, oh, can you eat this? Can you eat that? When I go with vegan people, I'm like, oh, I can eat everything off the menu.
Right? Isn't that awesome?
And you guys always pick the best vegan places, and everything is just delicious. So
I'm standing right next to a vegan place as we speak, so I'm like praising it for the both of us and for everyone.
So doing a backtracking. So I met David Markovich through a mutual friend, and he connected with Sharona, and Sharona connected me with you. And David, I need to go up and meet him, and we talk about talk about social media and all this stuff. Sharona offered me to be my personal shopper for a day, and now I'm just going to invite myself to have vegan food with you.
Yes, please. I invite you. You invite yourself, and I invite you too.
I'll just have to go to New York and make it a week.
Okay, beautiful. We can hit up every single vegan spot in the city in a week.
What's the best vegan spot?
Ooh, I want to say my go-to is by Chloe. It just has everything, and I've taken my non-vegan friends there just to like advocate. I've taken my non-vegan friends, and they're like, wow, this is actually really good. I'm like, why do you have to add actually, Why do you think I'm trying to poison you? But yeah, so there's a lot in the city, but by Chloe's definitely got the best rap from my friends, and I love it. So by Chloe it is.
I'll have to try because it's actually good.
Don't worry, we'll come. When you come, we'll go many times.
Love it. Now, else from being vegan and else from being an actress, what makes you happy?
What makes me happy? There's a lot, but I want to say the connective tissue of all the things that make me happy is the human connection. Like how one human being, like one soul, like I'll get very deep right now. One human being, one soul can sit down across from another human being with another soul and truly connect with what they're saying, with what they're not saying, the underneath the surface aspects of it, beneath the physical aspect, which is also another way to connect people, but the real, like, deep, meaningful things that people in our generation, in this day and age, really glide over. I think that the thing that really makes me happy is when I sit down, or actually it's not even me, if I witness a human connection, whether that be a familial connection, whether that be a romantic connection, whether that be a stranger connection. I think you can really connect with anyone if you allow yourself to. And the other person is open to be affected. And I think that it's so rare because we're conditioned to really close ourselves off. Because if we don't connect with people, we don't get hurt and we don't feel the bad things of this world, because we can't possibly feel anything bad if we're closed off. But that also limits ourselves to feeling anything good. Like you can't possibly feel love or feel true happiness or feel anything of great emotion if you don't allow yourself to be open and connect with other human beings. Because I think that's really what this whole world's about. Whether you work behind like a counter in any store, or whether you are on the street and you're handing out flyers, or whether you whatever your job may be, I think we're all looking for the human connection, and it's rare. It's really rare. And when I witness that, or when I experience it, it makes me really happy.
So you started by differentiating the human connection beyond the physical. How does that work? Some of the examples you gave were a little more fleeting, like just handing out flyers. How does that work in a fleeting moment where it's just two physical bodies there? What does that mean for you, the beyond the physical, in those instances?
Okay, so I think that, well, if I can go into like a little bit of a more, provocative route for a second, I think a lot of people, especially in relationships or that are looking for love or anything of that aspect, or looking for a connection, a deep connection, they use their bodies, and that either, whether it be like kissing or other things like sleeping with people, to look for that connection. I have a lot of friends that have told me that, and that's how I became so aware of it. That a lot of people will do that in hopes that this physical connection aids to like a deep spiritual almost connection, and that won't happen, because I feel like physical is one thing, and then spiritual, like deep and like under the surface, is another thing, and you can't look for one in the other. Like you have to be, it's their own separate entities, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you want to have like a really deep connection with someone, like, yes, physicality can aid to it, but you have to have that like foundation. You have to allow yourself to be like open and willing to connect with a human soul, not just their body.
So is it that there are two valid ways of connecting, or is it that the physical is the appearance of connection versus a spiritual being a true connection?
Yeah, I think that the physical is an appearance of a connection, whereas I don't think that you can actually truly connect physically if you don't have a spiritual or a deeper root of a connection. Like the physical is, in my opinion, superficial. We connect with someone on the street, and I mean that in a physical way. I mean, like if you look at someone and you check them out and you're walking down the street, you're not looking at them thinking, wow, they have such a beautiful soul. Like you're looking at them and you're judging your connection, like your possible connection with them, based solely on the physical. When you meet someone, it's all about the physical connection. In today's day and age, I find on social media, especially, like when you look at someone, you're not usually peering into their soul, you're peering into their physical appearance and what physically attracts you, and not who they are, not what talks to you on a deep level. It's superficial. And I think that we have become comfortable with this because it protects us from getting hurt. It protects us from any deep-rooted feelings. It's all stopped by this wall that we put up that we think is comfortable. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
What happens to you emotionally, psychologically, when you connect with someone in that level? I'm interested both in a deeper level with your family, with your friends, with your close people, and also what happens when it's something more fleeting, as you described before, someone across the counter. What goes through your head and what goes through your emotions?
So what goes through my head when I experience like someone good and I connect to them with them deeply in a real way?
Yeah.
Well, my body just feels relaxed. I just feel like if I'm sitting, I just can physically almost feel like my body is melting into whatever surface I'm in. There's no tension. Everything is just there and I'm witnessing it instead of restraining it and holding it. So I just feel connected to literally whatever is around me, and obviously including this person that I feel connected to and I feel safe with. So it's really the physical feeling is like almost melting, and it's weird, but it just feels like you feel almost after a yoga session where you like open your eyes and you just feel zen and you feel everything you just did, like you experienced in your body is really just everything is just there and you're not judging it and it's not judging you, and it just is. And then emotionally, like similarly to physically, you just feel at peace and you just feel safe and you feel like whatever you're saying to this person and whatever you're taking in is important. And that's such like an amazing and validating feeling, because so much of the time we question whether what we're saying is of importance and whether our voice really matters. And like, who are we talking to? And then we get self-conscious about that because we're aware of like the connective aspect. So definitely when I feel connected to someone, I'm feeling all of those things. And so it's really cool because sometimes if I actually don't like internalize emotionally how I feel, or vice versa, if I don't internalize physically how I feel, the other thing will come out. So if I'm not aware of the fact that I feel so connected to this person emotionally, my body will tell me, or vice versa. Like if I'm not physically aware of it, like my emotions will tell me. I'll just feel zen and at peace, or I'll just feel like I'm actually like melting into the table or into the chair. So it's cool. It's a really cool experience.
And does that happen equally with, let's say, the guy who delivered your vegan pizza or the girl who handed you your mail? Like,
not everyone can connect on such a deep level. Like people might call you like a psychopath if you try to connect with your mailman like that. And like, you're like, can you come in? I just want to talk to you. I want to know what you're doing with your life and if you're happy. I'll be like, psychopath, I'm never coming back to your house. So I can do smaller aspects of that. For example, like if I'm talking to the barista, before I order my coffee, I will make eye contact and I'll say, hi, like, how are you? And they're like, I'm great. How are you? And I'm like, I'm great. And I will say something like specific. I'll say something like, the weather is so beautiful today. I feel really good. Or like compliment them, and not like forcibly compliment them, like really look at them and take them in and be like, what do I like about this other human being that is standing right in front of me? Just because this is their job doesn't mean they're not a human being with emotions. So a lot of people will get taken aback by that kind of openness. Even like the smallest of things, like asking about their day and really engaging in them. People aren't really used to that because we've been conditioned again to like just, close ourselves off. This is what we're supposed to do, blah, 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 go through the motions of a day. And this is just because something I'm conditioned to do at this point, and I just genuinely love connection, and I don't force it if it's not there. Okay. If it is, okay. Sometimes that will actually like turn into something else. Like sometimes conversations can start like later. Like I just passed a guy in the street. He's a manager actually of By Chloe, my favorite vegan spot. And one time I was just talking to him. He looked like he was having a tough day. So I just asked him, this was like a few months ago, I asked him what was wrong. And he said, oh, it's nothing. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like it doesn't seem like nothing, but if you don't want to talk about it, that's okay. But I'm an unbiased person and I'm sitting right here and I'll be here for 30 minutes if you do want to talk about it. And he sat down with me and he did not talk about it, but we spoke about a lot of other things. And he didn't want to talk about it, and that is totally his right. Like I'm a stranger. But slowly but surely, because I opened myself up to letting him in, and I gave him permission. Like I said, I'm a stranger and you're a stranger, but I am aware that you are going through something. And just because everyone in your day has turned a blind eye to what you're going through because they don't want to interfere in your emotional life or connect with you in that way. Like, I'm a stranger, and I just want to let you know that if you want to connect with me, I'm willing to connect with you. And I just, what I was saying before is I passed him on the street and I said, "Hey, Eric," and he's like, "Hi," and he gave me a big hug, and it was just really nice. So it just shows how, like, there's no such thing essentially as a small connection, or like as making a minimal connection, because everything in the grand scheme of things, like, a connection is a connection, whether it's with your mailman or the barista or a best friend. We all deserve to be like felt emotionally and deeply. And I think that if you can offer yourself, people offer themselves in return. And I don't think there's anything better than that.
Have you always thought this way? Has this always been your philosophy, or is it something you learned?
It's hard because at some point it becomes so like your natural way of being. I do want to say I haven't always been like this. When I was younger, I was definitely more conditioned to be more closed off. But as like time went on, I realized that being closed off wasn't serving me. And I remember a decision to not be closed off, and I had my first heartbreak. And I remember thinking, this not being closed off thing sucks. Why would I do this? And I just got my heart broken, and this is stupid. My mom always told me that, like, love and hate are close opposites. Like, when you allow yourself to love, you allow yourself to hate. You can't close one off from the other. You can't be happy if you don't experience sadness. So that it's not necessarily bad to feel heartbreak, because I just allowed myself to be affected like I've never allowed myself to be affected before. And yes, I was crying all the time, but I was feeling, and feeling is so much better than not feeling.
Now, you're an actress.
I am.
And we talked in the pre-recording that if we don't talk about acting, then we're in trouble.
Yes.
But a lot of that is creating those connections on cue, on camera, relating to other actors and other actresses, and developing a persona and changing your energy completely.
100%.
How does that affect you? Does that is that a form of connection for you, or does that change the dynamics?
The first thing that came into my mind when you said that is the last few directors I've worked with have said to me, it's so crazy how quickly you get close to your co-star, like the guy that's playing opposite you. I was told that by a few directors, that it's so interesting that you get so connected. I think one of them used the word connected. That's when it hit me that I can't be like falsely connected on screen with someone. I have to create the genuine, and it's not forcing it. Again, it's allowing myself to be open and hoping that this person will be open in return. Then letting that, melt into our characters' lives, the foundation of a connection that we have made. I let that really create our characters. Like that's the first and foremost thing that I Tara, will bring to my character.
Do you have to connect with your own character in the same way, or is that a different process?
So I work very closely with writers that create my character. And I will ask them questions about my character as if they are my character. Like, I will talk to them and I'll be like, well, what is this person like? And they'll be like, well, this is what I've created them to be. And then you have to do the rest. Or some writers will be like, this is who the person is exactly. And then I have to connect to that person. And then I have to find connective tissues between the two of us. If I'm playing, I haven't played a serial killer, but if I'm playing a serial killer, I have to connect to that. And not that I'm going to go out and kill everyone, God forbid. But
I don't want to be a witness to that.
Yeah, I know. And now you have it on the podcast. So I'm not going to do that.
This is evidence.
I feel like it's a really bad example. Okay, maybe someone who cheated on someone, okay? I would never cheat. I'm totally morally against that. But I have to connect to that character. Like, let's say that's the big event in the film, that she went against everything and she cheated. I have to understand why my character would do that from my understanding of myself. It is a really big process in connecting to the character. I actually almost find connecting to the character harder than connecting to a co-star in life. You have to understand. Do you know the quote? Like, you have to love yourself before anyone else can love you. So it's kind of like that. You have to understand yourself. You have to connect to yourself. You're building yourself up from the ground, and you have to connect to that aspect, to every aspect of this being before this being has any opportunity to connect with another being.
Well, it's like RuPaul says, she says, if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love anyone else?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So in terms of connecting with yourself, if that's also something that happens?
No, I completely think that it's always a process of connecting with yourself. I don't think you ever really fully know yourself. For example, today I was with my boyfriend, and he said something, and I took it like offensively, and all of a sudden I got really defensive, and I put a wall up, and he explained to me as he was pulling my wall back down that he did not mean it in any way that I interpreted it. And after he left, I had to really sit down and internalize for myself, like, why I connected, like, what he said to something like negative. So in that sense, you have to constantly be trying to understand yourself, re-engage with myself, and really like understand why I interpreted something negatively. And so with that being said, I think that you are constantly, I don't think you ever truly know yourself. Just like I don't think you can ever just be like, I love myself, and think that's it. Like, you have to choose to love yourself every single day. And you have to choose to try to understand yourself every single day. And you have to, and with that being said, you have to do the exact same thing with other human beings. It's like a choice that you have to make every single day. And it's a beautiful choice. It's not work. It's a longing for just connection, for understanding yourself and for understanding other people. So you never settle. You're always fully living. It's something that I strive to do every day.
Okay, Tara, now I want to go to the rapid fire section. I have a few quick questions about what makes you happy, and I want your gut reaction. Are you ready?
I think so.
Who makes you happy?
My mom.
What is the happiest word you can think of?
Peace.
Finish the sentence. I'm happiest when?
I am with my family, sitting down with no distraction and talking, and just sitting on our couch and merely talking about our day.
So connecting with them.
Yes, connecting with them.
Love it.
Sitting and talking about what not social media or not what's on TV, but like physically or emotionally what they went through that day, and what our opinion is, or how we can help them, or anything of the sort. Just sitting and really just being with them.
Love it. What is the happiest moment you can think of?
Happiest moment I can think of. Wow. I don't know why this just came to my head, but I'll just go with it because rapid fire. My best friend Leticia, she's my best friend for the last 2 years. There was one day that our plans were ruined, and for some reason, neither one of us were upset about it. We kind of just used it as an opportunity to just wander and do whatever we wanted. And I don't know why a video came to my mind. We were just on like we were using something as a balance beam outside, and she was just recording us, and we were just playing music loudly and loving life, even though it didn't go according to plan.
So those are the best moments. It's like you have your heart set on something, it doesn't work out, and then you just make the best of it. Exactly.
And sometimes the things that you have your sight set on aren't going to make you happy.
See, I love at the beginning when we were chatting before the recording, and you said, I don't always like to ask a lot of questions because then I'm going to set myself up for something. And it's kind of like the same idea that you set yourself for something, but it wasn't the right thing, and something else came up, and go with the flow. Exactly. And I have one more. Do you have a movie or a song that makes you happy?
Wow, a movie or a song. Oh my gosh, I should have like 100,000 movies and songs that come to mind.
15.
15. My own movie. No, that's cheating. I can't use my own movie. Obviously, any film I've done obviously makes me so happy. but I don't know. Like, okay, do you know? Okay, perfect. I got it. I know it wasn't really fast, but I thought about it for a second, and I'm sorry. Legally Blonde really makes me happy. Like, I've never watched that film and like not had the biggest smile on my face. And the song they play in it, I don't know it, and for your sake, I'm not going to sing it.
Please do.
It's a perfect day. Nothing standing in my way. Something after that, I'm not going to sing anymore. But the song it's like plays either, I think it plays at the beginning of the film, and it's just saying it's a perfect day. There's nothing standing in my way, and it just goes on and on about like how it's just a perfect day. And actually, it juxtaposes in the film because she gets broken up with. She thinks she's about to have this quote unquote perfect day. She thinks she's getting proposed to. And she uses this negative, horrible experience to like kind of, try to get him back and get into Harvard. I love the two connective sentences, get him back and get into Harvard. So she like gets into Harvard and she thinks like being with him is going to make her happiness. And then she finds out through this experience that like chasing something she thinks is going to make her happy, she finds what actually does make her happy. And she finds that she actually is a really good lawyer, and she would never have ever applied to Harvard or have made this choice if she wasn't heartbroken, which I think is so effortlessly beautiful. And people think Legally Blonde is such a cute like ditzy movie because like she plays like a quote unquote ditzy blonde, but like it is actually a really good lesson for life. And
luckily, if you like the first one, there's a second one, and you can enjoy that one too.
Yes. Yes, you can. I mean, I don't remember. I mean, the second one's really good, but the first one, just like, I don't know. I feel like there's nothing like the first film, Like Harry Potter 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 30 are really good. I'm going to get killed for this. I'm going to just stop. I loved the first one.
Although I have to admit, Harry Potter, I hated it. I love the books, and I've read them at least, I think 2 or 3 times I've read them.
Really?
I remember.
I never read them.
Oh, I remember if you like the movies, the books are, because I remember watching the first movie, and I watched the whole thing, and I was like, I do not want to watch any more of this. The second one, I walked out.
Are you serious?
Because the book is so much better.
The Chamber of Secrets?
I walked out. I liked 5, 6, and 7, and 8 because I hadn't read the book in so long that I didn't remember all of the book.
It was a refresher.
Yeah. But I don't know. I feel terrible because I love the books and I was a huge fan. But
I actually am a big reader, and I never read. I love reading. Like, also just taking you to talk about connecting with people and like just connecting with yourself for like this allotted time. I never got into Harry Potter. I actually went to the 5th premiere, like the 5th film premiere, and I fell asleep. I fell asleep, and someone woke me up, and I was like, "Oh my god, that was so good!" And I went to sleep. I just dreamed about it. It was so good.
I fall asleep in movies all the time too.
I feel so bad because actually, oh my god, I can't believe I didn't say this. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is probably one of my favorite films. If oh my gosh, I love it so much, and it's also such a deep, meaningful message about like memories and how you actually do need the negative ones in order to like grow and prosper, and you don't want to just get rid of things because that's how you grow in life. But yeah, so I was late to that film. I actually went with my mom and my sister, and I was late, and I fell asleep in it because I missed the beginning and I didn't know what was going on. I was like, why is this person disappearing? I was like, I don't get this. So when I rewatched it, I was so just taken to a different place, and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad for falling asleep.
It's fantastic. And it's a good summary for the conversation we had earlier.
Exactly. That's true.
Or expansion.
What'd you say?
Or expansion, because our conversation was like 30 minutes and that movie's like an hour and a half.
That's true. I guess you're right. But I also wanted to mention, talking about my sister, I said before that my mom is someone who, I think you said like, who makes you happy or like something like that. My mom was like my gut, but like my sister is like, my mom is the creator. I mean, literally the creator of like myself and my sister. So like my mom, like I just was thinking word answer. My mom makes me so happy, and my sister makes me so happy. And like probably like I can talk to either one of them and just leave the conversation feeling lighter and happier and more connected to the world even. So I just wanted to note that.
I love this. And I wish I had known you guys when I lived in New York.
Oh, come back. We love you.
I'll come to visit. I'll visit.
Is it too soon? Is it too soon to say?
No.
You know?
No, not at all.
Cool.
No, because we connected.
Cool. We did.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that you said that.
We did. And now I have to go up there and we'll have to connect in person.
We'll have to shop and we'll have to watch movies that I'm in and eat vegan food all at the same time.
Yes. Done. Perfect day.
Done. And then cue my singing in the background of that song.
I did not want to say it, but I was thinking about that song as I said that. I did not think it before, but I thought it as soon as I said it.
We're so connected. I knew you were thinking that. Oh my gosh.
Tara, if people want to learn more about you or they want to find you, how can we do that?
So you can go to my Instagram. My Instagram name is Tara Rose Schreiber. SCHREIB. I'm really good at connecting with people there through direct messaging, or if you follow me and comment on my pictures, I will usually like love to connect with you. Not usually, I would love to connect with you. And if you wanna, I'm not so active on my YouTube videos, but I'm going to be more active. So if you wanna keep up with my YouTube videos or offer suggestions or, find me on YouTube, just type in Tara Rose Schreiber. You will also see a prank that I did 2 years ago. It's called Sitting on People Prank Girl Edition. It has 44 million views right now.
How did I not find this?
I don't know. I'm actually not sure. If you could, that's one of the first things that people learned about me in college. Like when I went, they're like, "Oh my God, that girl, she goes to our college. She's the girl who sits on people." And that's how I formally became known for a bit. And then, resumed my, professional, that's the actress.
All right. But, I just found a YouTube and I'm going to just look at it.
Yeah. It's fun. It's a journey of emotion.
All right.
But I love improv. So it was all improvisation and free range to do whatever. So it was really fun, honestly. And it was a good day of just being alive.
Love it. I found you in Vimeo, but I can't believe I didn't find you on YouTube.
Oh my gosh.
Now I did.
Also, I was going to say, if anyone has any professional, if you want to contact, the other two are just fun, but if you want to contact me professionally, it's Tara Rose Official at gmail.com. And that's for inquiries of I do a lot of acting, obviously, and modeling I'm getting into, which is also fun because it's kind of like acting, but just with still frames. And yeah, I dance. So, really, I just can't sing that well. So throw anything else my way. Don't offer me a singing part because you will regret it.
But you're a triple threat. You act, you model, and you dance.
Yes.
Triple threat. Good. So, Tara, it was awesome chatting with you.
Yes, it was awesome chatting with you. Thank you so much.
And I can't wait for our By Chloe lunch.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm going to go get By Chloe just to prepare for our lunch.
Yes. Love it.
I'm very excited.
Thanks, Tara Rose, for sharing what makes you happy. And thanks to Sharona for connecting us. You can listen to Sharona on episode 58. Thanks everyone for listening, and a special thanks to Jason Zappolo for editing this episode, Orly Margulis for help with social media, and Rocio Casañeda for ongoing support. You can check out this project and listen to past episodes at thehappypodcast.com, and we're in social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at The Happy Podcast and youtube.com/thehappypodcast. You can find us on iTunes And if you subscribe, you can get updates on your device whenever we get a new episode. And if you leave a 5-star review, more people can find us. Thanks for listening. See you in a couple weeks. I think this is a perfect segue, and I think you answered even better than the question I could have asked. So, everyone okay?
Just some honking. Everyone agrees. Everyone honk if you agree with Bernardo. Yay!
Yes, we got it.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Shout out to the Toyota.
Oh gosh! All right, this was supposed to be rapid fire section. Sharona, screw me.
It's fine. Sharona and I are so connected that you're so connected. I'm gonna save you.
I apologize.
So
I'm gonna have Jason edit that out because that's a douchebag thing to do.
It's okay.
Tara.
It's okay. We sound alike.
Okay.